What's going on, everyone? Another video for that. Hope everybody out there is keeping themselves safe, using good hygiene, and making sure that you're at least keeping your mind at ease too. Don't get too worked up mentally and frantic over this coronavirus situation. But nevertheless, we know narcissists don't sleep. They got that Kevin Gates mentality. They don't get tired. Narcissists don't get tired, and they never stop at what they're doing. And so the purpose of this video is just to explain how even in a crisis situation, narcissists are still active. So we're going to be talking about narcissists using the coronavirus situation to quarantine and chill, basically. A lot of narcissists are capitalizing right now on this coronavirus situation, by reaching out to old sources of supply and, basically trying to assess the situation and the mental state of the sources that they've been dealing with that may have been successful at no contact with them. This is where you may get a random apology out of the clear blue from them. A false, fake confession of what they done wrong, and they just wanted to clear things, or you may, the fake epiphanies, the fake concerns for how well you're doing. All of these things may be at play. And all the narcissist really is trying to do is, like I said, quarantine and chill. For a person who is really affected by this, because we got to understand the psychological effects that can go on in a crisis situation, a global crisis situation, such as what we're facing with the coronavirus. A lot of uncertainty going on, which creates a lot of anxiety in people, which can also spawn on to, PTSD. A lot of people have never lived through something like this. And it may be something relatively minor that will blow over, or it could be something a lot more devastating. We don't know to what extent necessarily yet. But for the narcissist, this is the opportune time to still be able to test out their ability to manipulate and win over a source that has been victorious over ridding themselves of the narcissist. This is the perfect time for the narcissist to see if they can pull another Houdini act, to be able to get back in to the lives of some of those who have been successful at no contact, right? And to a certain extent, people who are unaware of this and may become emotional from this, or may be under stress and anxiety, within the midst of this chaos, you have the narcissistic predator scheming on those who are not at 100%, I guess, at peace and grounded in their psychological health. And you have to remember that narcissists don't really take stuff like this serious anyway. After all, to the narcissist, this is just one big game. Nothing is ever serious to a narcissist unless it is directly hitting and affecting them. Okay? So for many of you, you'll get that random call. Hey, are you okay? I was just wondering, if you were all right. I know we have our differences, but I still, this is something serious, and I wanted to make sure that you were doing okay, you were well. Now that might sound innocent and genuine, because that's in this situation, that's the thing that people who care about each other may try to do, is try to comfort and console those their loved ones or people who they care for. And the narcissist knows this. Remember, the narcissist only acts upon and carries out things that they feel a person would want to hear, or that what is right that they should be doing, that a person would expect to see. So if you buy into that, or if you take that as, wow, they're finally being serious about something now. They're finally taking things serious. And this is where the narcissist will get into the confession. I know I did all this wrong, and I made these mistakes, but this has really made me see where I need to change my ways. Now think about how perfectly fitting this comes into play in a crisis situation where there's actually death and stuff, and bad health going on, to where your mind isn't concerned about well, basically your mind is concerned about survival and your well-being. And for someone to come in as a comforting voice, it's very easy for some to take the bait, right? And a lot of this false checking in on you, the narcissist is really tempted by the power and the fear. Well, they're tempted by the fear of other people feeling hopeless and helpless, and they get to come in and be a source of refuge for the person who's in distress, to where that person may just gravitate back towards the narcissist. Because after all, we're not sure if we're going to catch it. We're not sure how bad this condition's going to go on. But in the narcissist's mind, they want you to feel like, but even with all this stuff going on, the narcissist is there for me. Right? And it's a power trip to the narcissist. It's something where they can basically see themselves pulling another stunt to win you over, outbeating the impossible, the ultimate rush for them. They like things like that. They like these type of situations because they know that a lot of people are going to succumb to the collective consciousness of being fearful and worried. Well, this is where predators thrive. They thrive in these type of conditions. And for those of you who are not being conscious of the fact that if you are being recontacted by a narcissist, hoovered, I call it re-engagement myself. At this particular time, you have to really look at, this as being a ploy or a plot to manipulate you and regain access back into your life. And the normal person would say, well, in the midst of all this chaos and stuff that's going on, nobody's going to be thinking about that. They have to be serious. They can't possibly still be playing games and trying to manipulate under circumstances and conditions like this. Well, if you think that about the narcissist, that they wouldn't try, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. They will use every bit of this situation to hoover in or regain access to a person who has conquered them through no contact. And again, you can be rest assured the way it would play out is the same cycle. Come back in, worried about your health and everything. You get them back in. You start quarantining and chilling. And after about a week, guess what? Even under these type of circumstances, the narcissist is back to their same old habits, the same old them resurfaces. Mind blowing, right? But we have to understand the pathology of these individuals will never change, regardless of what condition they're faced with. This is the way that they are. And this is the way that they will continue to be. Don't try to consolidate rations together. You know, a narcissist offering to bring over that 24 pack of ramen noodles, the top ramen with the what's that, the beef jerky, you know, the cut up beef jerky in it. And don't go for that. You know, don't go for the hot Cheetos and corn chips and stuff like that as part of rations for them coming in and helping out. You know, you can't allow yourself to be compromised like that. Or them wanting to bring water and stuff like that, because it's like, I'm just checking to make sure you're okay for your survival. You know, it's going to get bad out here. And you might fall into that, you know. And I know a lot of people might say, you know, a narcissist probably wouldn't go that far, but yeah, they will. They will. And they do kind of look forward to situations like this, because it's like a renewal, at least, on being able to possibly play on the fears and anxieties of people to regain control over that person. And as I said, you'll see the same old narc resurface, even in situations and conditions like this. Most narcissists cannot handle crisis situations themselves, and this is the point in time where they need to be around someone. So their desperation picks up and kicks up as well, because being alone, going through stuff like they can't, it's too overwhelming. Narcissists are not, you know, capable of handling high stress conditions. High stressful conditions is something that they are not suited for. But they will want to latch on to, especially around this time, to people who they feel are strong, who are grounded, who are solid, right? That gives them a sense of comfort. And, you know, what better way than to show that they want to be in allegiance with you now? And if you feel like this is the perfect time for you to tell a narcissist off and really give them a piece of your mind, because they come in the form of being humble, and cooperative, don't waste your time. The narcissist is always in survival mode, always looking for the next person to manipulate, the next person to get over on. And that will never change. That will never stop. Don't be fooled, is what I'm pretty much basically trying to say. For many of those, I hope many of you stay safe, be alert, tend to your health. Try not to go out as much as possible if you don't have to. A lot of people don't take things like this serious. Oh, there's conspiracy and all this stuff. And a lot of people will speak in that way. Plagues have been going on since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. And they have killed millions of people. So I don't think that's in a sense it's a conspiracy to plague the government. Well, before governments was even established like this, plagues have been around. And they've been killing people. So, don't over worry yourselves, but do take things serious enough to make sure that you are taking the right precautions to protect you and your family and keep you and your family safe and in good health. Till next time, everyone, have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Love yourselves. Bye now. Oh, before I go, anyone who wants a one-on-one consultation, my site, something's wrong with my email transferring, so you can directly email me, ASSCdirect@gmail, if you want a one-on-one consultation. I'll give you all the information from that point. And until next time, have a good one. Hit the like button if you're still interested in any of the videos or whatnot. I usually recommend my Anti-Narcissist Awareness Training Academy e-course, ebook, which covers everything from A to Z on, what goes on with narcissists and the jargon and things you can do to protect yourself a lot better within there. So I'll leave that in the link in the description box. Next time, have a good one.